Today I'm sharing 10 of my favorite filmmaking essentials that every outdoor content creator should have. As you guys know, I spend a lot of time out in the elements shooting solo, and I've got quite a few items that I always bring and that you should have too if you're trying to make travel videos or other kinds of content creation where you're going to be shooting outdoors or maybe even solo. So I'm just going to get into the list, and if you guys have questions or comments, make sure you drop them down below. These are the things that I think you just have to have if you want to take your content to the next level. And the first one is a great microphone. Now, if you are shooting outdoors, you really want to make sure that people can hear you. If you're shooting on a cell phone, a GoPro, an Osmo Pocket, whatever it is, make sure you have the appropriate microphone that goes along with that. And two of my favorite microphones are one, a shotgun microphone. I actually have this one. It's made by Rode. They have a bunch of different ones, and you're going to have to find out which one goes specifically with your camera that you have. I shoot with a Sony a7S II, and that does not have a onboard charger for the microphone, so you do need to know that when you're purchasing a microphone. Some cameras don't have this function and some do, and some microphones actually draw power from the camera. They don't have batteries. If you are shooting vlog style videos where the camera is close to your face, these kinds of directional microphones work pretty well. But if you are outdoors, you will want to make sure that you have some sort of wind buff on there. You know, obviously this one has foam. There are another one that looks more like, it's called a dead cat. Highly recommend those if you're going to be doing a lot of hiking and climbing or things where you're really out in the elements. And just to go all along with that, you know, these kinds of directional microphones do not work well if you are going to be standing farther away from the camera, or if you're in areas where there is a lot of background noise or other sounds that it can pick up, because they do pick up a lot of background noise, and a lot of times it's hard to get that sound out of your video, even with sound editing. So a shotgun microphone is great, but if you really want to up your game and you want to be able to have more variety in the way that you're shooting your content, and what I mean by that is if you want to be able to do these like walk and talk shots, if you want to get away from your camera and do long shots where you're talking but also walking towards or away from the camera, you're not going to be able to use a shotgun microphone because it's not going to be able to pick up the sound as you move farther or closer away from the camera. So you're going to want a wireless lavalier microphone. Now there's a lot of these on the market, but if you have the money, I absolutely recommend that you invest in getting a Sennheiser wireless microphone. This is what they use in, you know, film productions, TVs, commercials. They are about $700, but this is the unit that you wear on your body. This little wireless one you can take up through your shirt or on whatever clothing that you have, and then it has a receiver that goes to your camera. And the reason these are great is because not only does it have multiple audio channels that it goes to, but it has a variety of channels that the microphones can actually go to so that they don't receive any feedback. And you're actually able to search for those, because in a lot of areas, you know, where there are a lot of electronics or a lot of city buildings and things like that, the audio channels, the frequency that these actually go on can be corrupted, and then you might have background noise or feedback from some of these audio channels. So it's great to be able to actually search the frequencies, find one that is empty, and be able to really have wonderful clean sound. You know, you can walk several hundred yards away from your camera and it still sounds like you're standing next to it with a wireless lavalier microphone. So I highly recommend that you get one of those. I know that Rode also makes one that's pretty new to the market. There are some other variations that you can find out there as well, but definitely good sound is a make or break deal for a good video. One of my other must-haves is a good remote trigger for your camera. Now, as I said, I have a Sony a7S II, but I also shoot a lot of times on my phone or my GoPro, sometimes my Osmo Pocket, and I have remotes for most of these cameras, and some of those I can actually use my phone as a remote, but I will say that it is so valuable to have a remote for your camera. Now, this is the basic one that I have for my Sony. I also have this more fancier Sony remote, but it's really great to be able to walk away from your camera and be able to hit record. And if you ever want to be able to get into night photography, astrophotography, anything like that, you will want some sort of remote trigger for your camera, because if you want to take long exposures and things like that, you don't want to be pressing the actual shutter button on your camera. Otherwise, you will move the camera and you're going to get a blurry image. These are also great for taking selfies if you want to, not just have photos where you're holding your phone. So highly recommend getting a good microphone as well. The next one on my list is kind of a two-parter, so you're getting an extra accessory in here. But the first one is to get some sort of backpack or camera bag that actually has a compartmentalized area for all of your cameras. I don't have my camera in here because it's over here, but I can put my camera in here, I can put my drones, and I can put my GoPros, and this actually fits right inside my backpack. As you guys know, I talk about the backpack that I have all the time in a lot of my videos. It's the Shimoda Action Designs backpack. I love it. It's perfect for outdoor adventurers because it's waterproof, but this is the compartment that actually fits in that backpack. They actually have a larger size as well for people with more lenses and things like that. But that is something you should definitely have. It will help keep you organized. And to go along with that, I recommend getting an accessory bag. Shimoda also makes this little accessory bag. I know Peak Designs makes a pretty good accessory bag as well for cameras, camera accessories. But this one is awesome. It actually, rolls out just like this. You can keep all kinds of stuff in here. I've got cables, I've got batteries, I've got cleaners for my camera lenses, I've got accessories for my GoPro, and I've got little tripod holders for my phone in here, and I actually keep my remotes in here too. And the great thing is that it just rolls up super small and doesn't take up hardly any room. This is super easy to stash in my backpack. And I've got everything that I would need as far as like little things that sometimes get lost in your bag. So highly recommend one of those as well. Number 4 is an ND filter for your camera. Now, my Sony actually has an 82 millimeter lens on the front of it. It's a 16-35, and I have these great Peter McKinnon ND filters from Polar Pro. These are my favorite. I've tried a lot. I definitely recommend, if you are going to get an ND filter, spend the money, because the cheap ones they honestly suck. And a lot of times the lens, it's just not made very well. So you're more likely to get like dirt and distortions on your lens if you opt to go for a cheap ND filter. So I really like these ones. I don't use them all the time, but they are really great when there is a lot of sunshine or I'm in areas where I really want to get like a little bit more depth of field in the colors. I also have the Polar Pro lenses for my drone. These are also really great. They come in 3 different varieties of shade. And because my drone, or DJI drones in general, are overexposed and under contrasted, these really help in evening out the colors in the videos that I get with my drone so that my color correcting doesn't have to be too overboard. So this next one is a little bit pricey, but if you really want to take your filmmaking to a more cinematic level, you want to get great smooth images, you want to be able to have B-roll that doesn't jump and jive by your unstable hands, then you really need to invest in a gimbal. And if you're shooting on a DSLR, gimbals range from about $400 to about $6,000. I have this one made by Filmmaking, which is pretty decent. It is a bit heavy, but it really does make a huge difference in shooting videos. And I'll show you guys some clips here of what it looks like with and without this gimbal. But if you shoot a lot of walk and talks, if you want to be able to up your game as far as shooting better B-roll, or shooting what you can shoot maybe on a GoPro but on a DSLR camera, then investing in a gimbal is definitely going to be worth your money. This Filmmaking one was about $499. DJI makes the Ronin 2, which I think is about $800. That one is fantastic as well. And these actually come with little tripod feet, so you can do all kinds of stuff with them. They they do auto tracking, they do all kinds of stuff, and they're really, really great. So recommend getting one of those if you want to take your videography to the next level. And if you're looking for something maybe a little bit smaller, I love the DJI Osmo Pocket. They actually just came out with an upgrade to this camera. It is a little tiny camera on a little gimbal stick, but I take it on all my hikes. It's basically like my backup vlog camera, and I really like it. As all DJI products, the contrast and auto exposure are a little bit off, but it's easy to correct that with color correction. I also just recently got the GoPro Hero 9, which has fantastic internal stabilization. And if you get the Max Mod lens on there, you can actually have it so that the horizon never changes. And you basically get this, like, you could do this with the camera and it will stay upright. So that's a pretty awesome feature. Right now they're actually sold out on GoPro's website. Next on my list is a quick release clip for your backpack. I actually just ordered one of these from Peak Design. I've been really putting it off for many years, but the great thing about the quick release clip is that you can carry your camera right here on your shoulder. You can also have it on your belt or somewhere else on your body as well, but it allows you to be able to just hands-free walk around without worrying about your camera falling off your strap. And I don't know about you guys, but that's happened to me several times where I've had my camera on a strap around my neck and the strap has broken off my camera and the camera has crashed. So I lost at least one lens to that over the last 5 years. So I'm really excited for the quick release clip. Peak Designs makes fantastic stuff. They are about $70. You definitely won't be able to make great videos without a great tripod, and I'm going to recommend two here. The first one is my large tripod. This one is made by K&F Concepts, and I've had it for a long time, so I actually need to get a new one pretty soon. But this tripod is fantastic. It has the ability to not only become a monopod, but you can actually also take the center part out. You can make it go sideways. So there's just a large variety of stuff this can do other than just stand in one way, which is why I really like it. You can also turn the head of this to be able to shoot vertical or horizontal. So I really like that. You know, this tripod was only about $150. So it is on the lower end of price for a tripod. It's pretty lightweight as well, which is pretty important for all of us that shoot outdoors. And so those are some of the things that I always look for in a tripod when I'm getting a new one. You know, carbon fiber is probably the lightest material that you can get in a tripod. So if you can spend the money on getting one of those, I recommend it. But I'd also make sure it has features designed for what you shoot. You know, for me, I'm normally on the side of a mountain. I need it to be light, but also hefty at the same time. I can't have some chintzy little thing that's going to get blown off the side of a mountain with my camera on it, which is why I really like this one. And it gives me the ability to be able to shoot vertical or horizontal, which is great for Instagram and YouTube Reels and all the other social media platforms as well. The other tripod that I love is this little teeny gorilla foot. It's got these malleable legs, and this is fantastic for, I can put this on my big camera. I can also put my phone on this. I can put my GoPro on this. So there's a lot of availability of opportunities for this little teeny tripod. And because it has these great little malleable legs, I can wrap it around a tree if I need to, or a railing at a building. And there's just a lot of options. So that's been a real game changer for me as far as being able to mount that in a lot of places to be able to take selfies or record myself talking when I wouldn't be able to use a regular tripod. Something else that makes fantastic videos is great lighting. And as many of you know that shoot outdoors, you don't always have the opportunity to be able to shoot in great lighting. Now, I will say for those of you that vlog like me, your best hack while shooting outdoors is to always find the light, and you want to have your face in the light. You don't want to be in the shadows, but one way to not have to worry about that is to have a light on your camera. Even if it's teeny tiny like this one, you know, I have the media mod on my GoPro, which has a light on it. I also carry this for my phone. I have a second light that I put on my big camera when I'm shooting with that. But great lighting and great sound are two of the most key important components in having a great video. So definitely, if you don't already have a light that you can put on your camera, you will want to invest in one of those. And if you're like me that has, you know, a microphone, you have a light, you have other things. They actually make a great little mount that can go on the top of your camera that holds 3 different things. So you can put your microphone, you can put your light, and you could put a third item on the top there too. So if you are going to get multiple components like that, I highly recommend getting that little mount for the top of your camera too. So getting to the end of the list here, but I didn't want to end it without talking about some of the components that you need when you get back to your home studio and you're putting all that footage onto your computer. Number one, you're going to want a hard case for your SD cards. I unfortunately don't have mine here with me today, but I will pop it up on the screen here. These things are really inexpensive. You can get them for about $10 and you can put all kinds of SD cards in there, mini SD cards and regular from all your different cameras. It's a great way to keep organized and to make sure that your footage stays protected while you are out in the elements. Now, to go along with that, you're going to need a great external drive. This is the one that I bring with me when I'm traveling. I import everything onto this with an external card reader. And then when I get home, I'm able to transfer this onto a second drive and onto my computer. And just going along with that, make sure you always back up your information, all of your photos and videos. Do not just have them in one place. If you're putting them on your computer, also have them on a secondary drive. And if you're putting them solely on a secondary drive, I recommend purchasing a third drive as your backup to your backup in case something terrible happens, because it oftentimes does. Or you might get your laptop stolen or your external hard drive stolen. So just always have a place that everything is backed up. And if you don't want to get another external drive like this, you can actually back stuff up in the cloud using Google Drive or OneDrive or one of these other online storage companies as well. The last thing on my list is cloud service. I love Adobe Creative Cloud. I highly recommend, if you are a filmmaker, a photographer, or any sort of creative content creator, you need a subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, I use Premiere Pro for all my editing. I know a lot of people use different editing software. I like Adobe, their whole suite, the best. And the reason why is because all the things come together. You know, for about $30 a month, sometimes less if they have a promotion, you can get Premiere Pro, you can get Lightroom, you can get Photoshop, you get Audition, which is for sound editing. There's also some other applications that you get in there. I think you used to get Dreamweaver, so you also get free storage with Adobe, and they have all kinds of elements that you can add into your videos that come as stock footage and stock elements. So definitely invest in the Creative Cloud if you are a creator and you are editing your own material or editing photos. They also have mobile versions of Adobe Premiere, which is called Adobe Rush, and Lightroom is also available on your iPhone. I'm not sure if it's on Android. I'll have to check into that. But it's really great to be able to have the photos on your phone and then all of your camera photos as well in the same place. You can edit them either on your phone or on your computer, and it goes both ways. So whatever you save on there saves on your phone too. And it's just so invaluable. I've had a subscription to them for probably the last 6 or 7 years. And honestly, I don't know what I would have done without it. Now, I know this video was about filmmaking accessories, but I did just want to add one of my favorite content creator tools into this video at the end here, and that's Envato Elements. Now, if you guys make your own videos or you make websites or brand videos, anything like that, I highly recommend you get a subscription to Envato Elements. There is a link down below in the description if you want to check it out. But this is a website where if you have a subscription, you can get basically unlimited stock footage for our video and photography. You can get unlimited music, royalty-free music. They have graphics for all kinds of different videos, from, banners to title cards and headers and all that kind of stuff. So any kind of graphic that you might want for After Effects or even Photoshop or Premiere, they have everything on there, and it's just one price every month. I think it's about $9.99, and it is one of my favorite places to go for stock footage and for graphic footage and things like that. So highly recommend that. And that's all in this video as far as filmmaking accessories to bring your content to the next level. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you hit subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to share it with a friend. I'll be back soon with some more content on, hiking in the outdoors, and I want to bring you guys more content like this where I can provide value to all of you that are out shooting, doing photography, doing videography, and trying to be filmmakers. So let me know in the comments if you want to see more of stuff like this, and I will see you guys soon.